Okay, so have you heard about LIVINC?
I'm not sure.
Well, it's really interesting, actually. It's like this European-style farm, but it's also got this creative incubator thing going on and a wellness retreat, too, all in one place, in Jordan, of all places.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot to take in. What exactly do they do there?
Yeah, it's pretty wild. You can learn pottery, drink local tea with this amazing view of Palestine. I even read they have facilities to record a podcast there.
Really? That's interesting. It sounds like they've got a lot going on. So how does it all work? All these different things in one place.
Well, that's what we're going to dive into today and what makes this place so unique.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So from the sources we've got, it looks like they've really gone for this specific aesthetic they keep mentioning, this European-style farm feel. What do you think that even means?
Well, looking at the pictures, it seems like they've used a lot of natural materials, like exposed wood beams and stonework.
Right, right. And lots of open space and natural light, too.
Yeah, exactly. So it has that traditional European countryside feel, but also feels modern and bright at the same time.
And I guess that ties into the whole farm aspect, too, right?
Absolutely. It's about connecting with nature, living sustainably. They even have this really cool eco pond. It's like a self-cleaning ecosystem, filters pollutants using plants and bacteria.
Oh, yeah, I read about that. That's pretty impressive.
It is. It's a great example of how they're trying to be really environmentally conscious.
So let's talk about this Freedom Terrace thing. Our sources made it sound pretty amazing, fresh air, incredible views.
And you can't forget about the Dead Sea. It's closer to LIVINC than the main airport.
Really? Wow, I didn't realize it was that close.
Yeah, and apparently the air quality around the Dead Sea is supposed to be incredible. High oxygen levels. People say it's really good for your mood and energy.
Oh, interesting. So you're on this terrace, breathing in all that fresh air, maybe sipping some tea, and suddenly, boom, inspiration strikes.
Exactly. It's like they've designed the whole place to spark creativity.
Speaking of creativity, they also have a pottery studio, right?
Yeah, it looks really nice, fully equipped.
I love that. There's something so therapeutic about working with clay, getting your hands dirty.
Absolutely. It's a very tactile, grounding experience. And in a world that's so dominated by technology, it's nice to have that connection to something tangible.
Definitely. And it looks like they have a dedicated workshop space, too, where people can work on larger projects.
It seems like they've really thought of everything someone might need to bring their creative ideas to life.
Right. So you've got this amazing natural environment, places to relax and be inspired, and all the tools and resources you need to be creative. What more could you want?
Well, maybe a community of like-minded people to share it all with.
Okay, good point. And that's where I think the story of the family behind LIVINC, the Al-Hassan family, becomes really interesting. So you were saying something about the Al-Hassan family, the people behind LIVINC.
Yeah, they seem like really interesting people.
It's their project, right? This whole LIVINC thing.
Right. And from what I gathered, it wasn't always meant to be this big creative hub. It started with them just wanting to build a farmhouse for themselves.
Really? So how did they go from a farmhouse to, well, all this?
Well, it sounds like they'd always planned to live pretty sustainably, connected to nature.
Yeah, that makes sense with the farm and everything.
Right. But then they started noticing that there weren't many opportunities for young people in Jordan to really explore their creativity, develop their skills. And that's when they had this idea to turn their farmhouse into something more.
So they saw a need and decided to do something about it. That's pretty cool.
It is. And they didn't just stop at providing a space either. They developed this whole system to support young entrepreneurs.
That's right. They have that AIM model, right?
Yeah, exactly. It stands for Academy, Incubator, Marketplace.
Catchy. What did those even mean, though? Like, is this an actual academy?
Well, sort of. They have workshops, mentoring programs, all kinds of resources to help people develop their skills in different creative fields.
Oh, okay. So that's the academy part. Then what?
Well, once someone has those skills, they can apply to the incubator program.
And what happens there?
It's like a support system for their business ideas. They get help with things like writing business plans, marketing their products.
So it's not just about being creative, but actually turning those creative ideas into, like, a real business.
Exactly. LIVINC helps them make a living from their passion.
That's amazing. And then there's the marketplace part. Is that where they sell their stuff?
Exactly. It's both online and a physical store, I believe, where they can sell their work directly to customers.
Wow, they really thought of everything.
They have. And it seems to be working.
Hmm.
There was this one story I read about a woman who started making jewelry at LIVINC.
Oh, yeah. What happened to her?
Well, she started selling her jewelry at the marketplace,
Mm-hmm.
and it just kind of blew up. She ended up employing other local artisans, and even opened her own shop.
Wow. See, that's what I mean about a life worth living, a story worth telling, which, by the way, is their tagline. It's not just about selling products, it's about creating something meaningful.
Definitely. And it gives people a sense of community, too, a place to belong.
Absolutely. And we haven't even touched on the whole sustainability aspect yet. Like, they're not just talking the talk, they're living it.
Right, with EcoPond, the farm-to-table food,
Mhm.
they even have their own beehives.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that.
It all goes back to that original vision of living in harmony with nature.
So we've talked a lot about what LIVINC does, the whole creative incubator side of things, but I feel like there's something more to it, right?
Yeah, you kind of hit on it earlier, actually. It's more of a lifestyle, isn't it?
Right. Like it's more than just a co-working space or something, isn't it?
Exactly. They've really thought about the whole experience. The community, the connection to nature, all the opportunities for growth.
And it all seems so intentional, like they've considered every little detail.
Absolutely. And I think a big part of that is their focus on well-being. And not just in a superficial way. It's about everything, the physical space, the food they eat.
Oh, yeah. Their website mentioned something about using locally sourced ingredients, farm to table kind of thing.
Exactly. They even have their own beehives, remember? Fresh honey.
That's right. I'd forgotten about that.
It's all part of that bigger picture of living sustainably and in harmony with nature.
It really is. And it makes you wonder, what if this is what the future of work could look like for more people?
Definitely. It seems like LIVINC is onto something special, this idea that when we prioritize well-being and creativity and our connection to nature, amazing things can happen.
I couldn't agree more. Well, sadly, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive into LIVINC. But honestly, I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
Me too. There's so much more to explore.
There really is. But for now, we'd love to hear your thoughts. What resonated with you most about LIVINC? Head over to our social media and join the conversation. And, of course, we'll link to all things LIVINC in the show notes so you can check them out for yourself.
Yes, definitely do.
Until next time, stay curious, everyone.